Hi, I'd like to give you a speech on learning and growing from the past. When we started out the course, we really started out with Jesus' life and how that has impacted society. Ortberg's book had a profound impact on my life, and I'm sure it did on the classes as well. But how do we take this and apply it to our organizations? Well, starting with Jesus' time, he had a profound impact on those around him. And then moving into the Western civilization area with Rome and all that we have studied there, Mesopotamia, I think really took society and made things for the better. There are certainly some bad things that occurred in the Roman era, but the civilization that they created and the aspects of food, water, transportation systems, agriculture, and really brought about this idea of equality, I believe, as well in the Western civilization. Christians were obviously persecuted during this era, which drove them out of Europe, and they came to America, which really started the Protestant Reformation age, which had a profound impact on education, on the United States government, and where we started as a nation. And then we got into the Industrial Revolution, which is really why I'm sitting here today, which created the assembly lines, mass production, automobile, and the jet age, which now we can get anywhere in the world on an airplane, and it's also impacted organizations and those for Christ because of missionaries that can get anywhere with supplies and people. But one thing I think is the biggest thing that we have to be aware of from the past is that our society can fall just like other societies have fallen, especially looking at the Roman civilization. So, where we are today and where we're going in the future, I think is the biggest thing that we have to take away and apply to our organizations, ensuring we are ethical people, that we are trustworthy, that we have integrity, and we live this to our fullest each and every day. How should we teach others? Servant leadership really comes to mind in mentoring. If we are not serving others, I'm not sure that we can really teach them, as teaching is a servant type of action. We also need to mentor, which I believe is a little bit different than servant leadership. Mentoring takes more time out of our day to actually sit down and talk to someone and find out what we need to do to help them in their lives or in their careers. Men and women in uniform make the ultimate sacrifice. What do I mean by that? I go into my job each and every day with the mindset that what I'm doing is trying to provide the best equipment possible to protect our men and women in uniform. So, independent of what people may think about war or military in general, that's my main duty every day is to ensure those folks can come back home safely to their families. And finally, the law of legacy. What type of law of legacy will we leave as we teach others within our industry? I think is a profound thing to look at. And I think that also ties into servant leadership and mentoring. And I got the quote up there from Ortberg that Jesus taught to change lives. We tend to think teaching as a transfer of information. And I think if we look at teaching or anything that we do in our industry, I know this is a very diverse group here, we can also change lives. And finally, how do we impact our organization for Jesus Christ? I work for the federal government. It's a little bit hard to do from a direct point of view. We can obviously do it by leading an example. And then finally, my last point is that I think our biggest problem could possibly be our success. This quote had a profound impact as I was thinking and trying to evaluate what I wanted to say. Is that we're all pretty successful people already by society standards. We're all working towards a doctoral degree, and I think we have to be careful that success could be our biggest enemy. So we need to make sure that we stay awake and that we are in tune with what's going on around us, and that we keep living our lives for Christ and setting that example. Thank you for your time, and Merry Christmas.